What's going on, everybody? Welcome back again to the channel. So today I am back with another great recipe for y'all. So if you are new or you're visiting the channel for the first time, hit that subscribe button. So with that being said, let's dive into the video. Alright guys, so today I'll be showing you guys how I make my Haitian Epis for my food or whatever it is that I'm cooking. So today's video, I'm gonna show you guys the whole entire process, how I make it and what I use to make it. So first, I use green onions right here, and then over here I got green and red bell peppers. That's already been cleaned, washed, and chopped into pieces. In this bowl I have fresh parsley. It's already been washed as well, clean and everything. And then in this bowl I have fresh garlic. You always want to make sure you get like fresh vegetables because it's best to use fresh vegetable to make you epis. Also, I'm gonna be using a little bit of white vinegar, salt. I'm gonna be using some Maggie, which is chicken flavored bouillon. I'm gonna be using some accent flavor enhancer, and also another Maggie, which is like the vegetable kind. So right now, what I'm gonna do is get everything started and then start blending, and I'll show you guys how I'm adding everything and how it's gonna turn out. So make sure you stay tuned for the whole entire video so you can see how it's done. Stay tuned, guys. Okay guys, so as you guys can see in my blender, I have some green and red bell pepper. So the reason why I'm blending those first is because the peppers, they'll tend to have the juice flowing. So once I add my other vegetables like my green onions and my parsley, they'll have enough water already in the blender so everything could be blended and mixed well together. So what I'm gonna do now is start with my green and red bell pepper, and then after that I'll add my green onions and parsley. So stay tuned for that, guys. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna keep adding more of my peppers. And also, if it's not blending right, or you know it won't blend, add a little bit of water or your vinegar, just to have a little bit of water at the bottom of your blender in order for it to blend. So I added a little bit of vinegar. I didn't really want to add water. Or also you could add a little bit of oil as well. So we're gonna keep blending, and after that I'm gonna have to dump this in a bowl so I could blend the rest of them, because I think it's gonna be too much for my blender. So stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, so now I'm done with my bell peppers. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add my garlic. I wanna make sure my garlic blend with it, and then after that I'll be dumping it in a separate bowl so I could add my green onions and my parsley, because the blender, it's not a extra large blender, so everything won't be able to fit in it. So I'm gonna add my garlic now, blend it down, and then I'll dump it in a separate bowl, and then I'll add the rest of the stuff. Stay tuned, guys. Okay guys, so this is how my epis is starting to look like. Now this is just my green, red bell peppers with my garlic blended together. I haven't added any flavors or any type of seasoning in it yet. So what I'm getting ready to do now is I'm getting ready to blend my green onions and my parsley. So stay tuned, guys. I'm about to add my green onions and my parsley in my blender and start blending them. Okay guys, so got my green onions in my blender. I left about, I'll say I don't know, 3/4 cup of my epis that's already blended at the bottom, so I can have enough juice at the bottom, so you know all my green onions will blend. Because if you don't have a little bit of water or anything at the bottom, you blender will not chop them. So I'll let Okay guys, so as you guys can see, my green onions are all blended up now. Over here, like I mentioned before, this is my green red bell pepper with my garlic. And then now I'm about to start adding my parsley. So stay tuned for that, guys. Alright guys, so I got some of my parsley in now. I'll go ahead and start blending it. Okay guys, so I'm gonna keep adding more and more until I have everything well blended. So what you wanna do, you wanna add your parsley and then use a longer spoon, like I'm using a wooden spoon, kinda like press it in so what's already blended could just come to the top, and then your fresh parsley goes to the bottom. Now you don't want to add too much, depends on what size blender you have. So you want to add just enough to where your blender will be able to blend it, and you'll be done. And after that, we'll be adding our spices and mixing them both together, and your epis will be done. So stay tuned guys. Okay guys, so now I am completely done with blending my vegetables. So it's time to mix them both together now and add all my spices. And normally I don't really care if my Haitian Epis is at 100% tasting right, because it depends what type of food you're gonna be cooking. You can always add a little bit extra once you're getting ready to cook that particular food. So you want it to be about 80 to 85% completely done, and then once you're cooking, you'll just take some and then you just add a little bit of flavors to it, and then you cook with it. So now what I'm getting ready to do, as you can see in my blender, this is green and this is a bit of reddish. So this is my parsley and my green onion, that's why it's so green. So now I'm gonna mix them both together, and then I'll add my spices to help boosting up the taste, flavors, and everything. So put that in a big bowl, just like that. What you wanna do, I'm gonna mix it. Just like that. Smells so good already. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and add some of my seasoning, which I mentioned earlier. So I'm gonna add about 2 to 3 spoons of salt. That should be enough. I'm going to add my chicken bouillon flavor. Adding my accent, flavor enhancer. last but not least, my Maggie. Got a little bit of that in there. That should be enough. Like I said, it doesn't have to be 100% done, because you don't want it just to be for one specific type of recipe. You know, I use my Epis pretty much for everything that I'm cooking, unless it doesn't recommend me adding some of it in it. But mostly anything that I'm cooking, really, I use my Haitian Epis. And you know, like I said, I don't have it at 100% done yet, because I'll be adding my own extra little kick into it. Depends on what type of food I'm cooking for that day. So overall, guys, this is basically the quickest and most fastest, I don't know, I mean, you can make it whichever way you want, but this is just my way of making it. And you know, I have enough to store in my fridge for a month. Make sure everything is well blended in. And also, if you want, you could add some lime juice. I'm not gonna do that because I added vinegar in mine, so I don't want to add too much of that acid type of in it. So I think my vinegar gives it enough already, so I don't have to keep adding more and more. So this is it, guys. This is how your Haitian Epis should look like when it's all done. So this is it, guys. So if you enjoy watching this little video, don't forget to like the videos, share, subscribe to the channel. Definitely, you have to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Peace.